to Web of Stories. My name is Melinda. It is Tuesday, which means it is Tag Tuesday. And today I have the behind the BookTube tag. I will have to look up and see who created this. It'll be in the description box below, but I was tagged by Kelly at Books I Am Not Reading. Editing Melinda here. I just finished watching Ms. Reads a Lot, who also tagged me in this video. So I was tagged twice. Just want to make sure she gets credit for that and gets a mention because she's awesome. You should go follow her. I Am Not Reading. And this is another really interesting tag. So let's get through it. There are, well, it says there's 13, but it actually looks like there's like 15 because it kind of split some of them in half, but I'll try not to be too verbose. Don't worry. The first question: what has surprised you the most about BookTube, both in a good way and in a bad way? Let me preface this by saying that I am just short of my 1 year on BookTube. So this is the last 11 months on BookTube. It's kind of the same answer for both. So this is what I have noticed about BookTube is when you start following channels and then you kind of get recommendations from other channels from people. So you kind of get into your own little group in BookTube, and pretty soon you're watching the same thing as everybody else. And I think that's really great to build that community. I love that you build the community. The flip side of that is that after a while you're starting to hear the same book recommendations. You're starting to hear the same thing. So the voice in that group, if you don't continually look for new channels to watch, the voice in that group that you're in starts to become a little monotone, if that makes sense. Like everyone's saying the same thing. So yeah, that's mine. It's kind of like double-edged sword sort of thing. Second question: how do you balance reading and BookTube with the rest of your life? Number one, I don't clean my house. No, I probably should do that more. No, what I do is I schedule my reading time. So I have times where I will be reading. I do read after lunch. I do read, at bedtime. And then usually the mornings I will do my BookTube-y stuff. I am doing well as far as getting my reading in and getting my filming in, but I am continually playing catch up with trying to watch all the videos that I want to watch. So I'm still trying to figure that out. Okay, question 3. Have you ever thought about starting a Patreon? So I support some creators on Patreon. I think that's a great thing. I personally don't see myself ever doing a Patreon just because I'm lazy. To me, this is a hobby. It is not really a money-making thing. This is not my business. This is my hobby. I'm not saying that people have patrons. It's their business. But I don't foresee having the need to have that income come in to sustain the channel. So I don't feel that I would ever need to. But, I am happy to support other people on Patreon. The next one: have you ever made any mistakes on BookTube? So there was this one time when, and I have a short up about it, where I misnamed an author continually. I am very sorry, Peter Heller, not Peter Fuller. And I didn't even notice until Sue Jackson pointed it out to me. Like, oops. Yeah, so there was that. So that's really, that just happened like in the last couple weeks. So that's why it's fresh in my mind. But yeah, that was probably my biggest boneheaded mistake that I have made. Question number 5. Do you have any advice for new booktubers? I have 3 pieces of advice. Number 1, be yourself. Don't try to be anyone else. Don't try to put on an act. Just be yourself. Number 2, don't be afraid to try new things. Like maybe try doing a vlog. If it doesn't work, that's fine, but you won't know that unless you try it. Maybe try doing a haul. Maybe it will work, maybe it won't, and that's fine. No one is going to drop your channel because your haul video wasn't interesting. It just go ahead and try new stuff. It's fine. And if it doesn't work, just don't do it again. And the third is, do not worry about your follower count. Just don't. If you start worrying about your number of followers, you get into a really weird head game. And then I think that is very detrimental to how you present yourself on your channel. And so I say, just don't worry about the number of followers that you have. People come, people go. Sometimes you'll wake up and you'll have 50 new followers, and sometimes you'll wake up and your follower number goes by 10. You have no control over it. Just go with it. Don't worry about it. It will come. It's fine. Okay. 6, what are your thoughts about the YouTube algorithm? Don't care. I have no thoughts. Nope, I take that back. I do have a thought because I'm going to go back to question number 1. Our neighbors have 6 dogs and they just put them all in the backyard if you hear that barking. So sorry about that. I don't know if you can hear it, but I can hear it. I'm going to go back to my question number 1 and like finding your group and then having that group be there and not getting new votes. I don't think the algorithm, once you kind of get to that mode, you're not going to find different YouTubers a lot of the time because of the algorithm. That's my only thought about it. Generally, I try not to think about algorithms too much. Okay. 7A. How do you decide what videos to make? Well, I kind of do some sort of schedule things like Tuesdays are Tag Tuesdays. On Friday, I do my weekly wrap up to air on Saturday. I try to post a video on Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. So Thursdays will tend to be like book reviews or maybe something else. And then that way there's really only one day I kind of have to think about what I'm doing. Some days I don't have a tag and that's fine and I'll figure something else out. I don't stress about it too much. And honestly, if I miss a day, I'm not going to, people are not going to think I'm dead and then just like drop my channel. We all miss days. It's fine. Not stressing about it. But I personally like having schedules for things. So I just have Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. Generally, I know what I'm doing on Tuesdays. I almost always know what I'm doing on Saturdays. There you go. 7B. Are you ever overwhelmed with video ideas? When I first started, I was. I'm not so much now. I do keep a list on my phone, in the notes app on my phone. If something comes to me like, oh, that would be a great video, I'll just stick it in there. And then if it's one of those days where I'm like, oh, what am I going to post today? I can look and see if there's something on there that appeals to me. But I don't ever feel overwhelmed. And I think that list actually helps because you have that idea, you put it in the list, and then you don't have to remember it anymore. You don't have that flying around in your head. You don't have the burden of having to remember things. You just put it in a list and you can pull up that list whenever you want and it's right there for you. So yeah, I don't really get overwhelmed. 8, have you ever regretted posting a video? Not that I can remember or think of, but I think part of that is most of my videos are pre-scheduled. So if there was something that I would regret, I would probably regret it before it aired and I could just take it down before anyone saw it. But again, I'm less than a year in. Who knows what the second year of me being on YouTube is what kind of catastrophes I will cause. But no, so far I haven't regretted a video. 9A and 9B, I kind of have already answered this one, but the first one is, are the numbers of viewers or subscribers meaningful to you? I've kind of gone into it with the idea that they're interesting, but they are what they are and I have no control over it. And I love it when the number goes up, but if it stays the same or it goes down a little bit, that's fine. It's fine. It is what it is. I have no control over it. And the second question, 9B, is, are the number of viewers or subscribers a measurement of success? And I would say no. This is a hobby. I would probably do it if no one watched me. So my measurement of success is more consistency on my part, which is something I can control, which is the consistency with doing videos and also kind of the growth in how I think about things from watching other people and getting different views on books and things like that. So that's how I would measure success. Number 10, are you disappointed by the growth of your channel? Nope, not at all. Why would I be disappointed in it? I don't have a viewer goal. I'm happy when people watch me. I love when people watch me. But I just do my thing and I am who I am and that's that. So no. Number 11, have you ever thought about quitting BookTube? No, but again, I'm a relatively new booktuber. So I know that a lot of people, especially booktubers who've been around for a while, will probably answer yes to this. So I think it's just a phase I have not yet gotten to. But as of now, I have never thought about it. 12A. What are the most touching comments? Any comment where that involves some kind of, that sort of solicits some interaction from me, I find very touching. Like they want to have a conversation with me. And that is the bulk of comments I get. Yeah. So it's not like, a canned response to anything. It's like, hey, I saw this. This was interesting. What do you think? This is what I think. Something that solicits some kind of response from me. I would say the most touching comments that I get. 12B, what are the most negative comments? So I've only had one instance where I had negative comments, and this is interesting. I did a short about book bans, and people who are very much for limiting intellectual freedom for people who might have views different from them got a hold of this video, and they got all sorts of comments about how I'm grooming kids to be transsexual and what? That was their word, by the way. I know that is not the appropriate word, but that was the word that was used, and I think there were actually worse words used. And I was not surprised by it, but I noticed that the more they commented, the more views I got. So I decided to like not respond. And then when the views on that video sort of flattened out and sort of, you know, you post a video, especially a short, you have a big up and then it goes down. When it went down, I just deleted their comments. There was a part of me that wanted to respond and say, thank you for helping my metric, but I didn't. It's not worth it. And you know, those people, they did not, you don't have to agree with me, but they definitely posed their views. I found their views personally stupid. I'm sorry, there's no other word for it. And the way they put forth those views were not in a way that warranted any kind of exchange whatsoever. So whatever, it's, you know, the First Amendment does not actually apply to the comment section. I can delete things, and I did, but first I made sure I got the hits from them. So, you know, hey, if any of you are watching again, thank you. And finally, in regards to BookTube, where do you see yourself in 5 years? So at this point, I would say I'm probably still making videos. However, my life will be in a very different place in 5 years. In 5 years, my daughter will be in college. My son will be a senior in high school. So I don't know what my life is going to be like, but I'm having a great time on BookTube. So I would think I'd still be making videos. We'll see. So anyway, people to tag. Now I took the easy way out last week and didn't tag anybody. So I am going to tag. A lot of people have already done these videos. So I am going to tag Sue Jackson. She's always my go-to to tag. Hi, Sue. I believe, trying to think who has not done this. So I know I don't think Sue Jackson has done it. I would say Leandra. I'm gonna tag Leandra. I don't think Leandra has done it. If you guys have done it, I'm sorry. I just can't remember off the top of my head. Who else should I tag that I don't think has done it? I think I'm just going to leave it at those two because I do think that a lot of people have done this tag before. But if you have not done it, and even if I didn't tag you and you want to do it, consider yourself tagged, tag me back so I can be sure to watch it. And yeah, so less than 15 minutes, yay. I have noticed one thing I will say aside, one thing I have noticed is that my videos that are less than 20 minutes do better, which is probably good because if I'm talking longer than 20 minutes, I'm saying stuff that doesn't need to be said. That's why I'm like, yes, look, I'm under 15 minutes. Ooh, I'm under 10 minutes. But yeah, so that is one thing I am trying to do is I'm trying to like be cognizant of how long my videos are and not make them super long. Personally, I like kind of watching the little bit shorter videos because I can watch more videos in a certain amount of time. So I'm trying to keep it a little shorter. So there you go. Anyway, see, I just got off topic on that again. You know, I tag people, do this if you want to, give this video a like, subscribe to my channel. I would really appreciate it. Thank you, and I'll see you next time.